Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome. Appreciate y'all showing up on this drizzly day, but I think the rain is about stopped and we're going to have a nice weekend, so it's going to be great. And for those of you who are watching us live, on Facebook Live, we are streaming live. This is the first time with Facebook. We're experimenting here, folks, just like everyone else. So if you're tuned in, we appreciate you joining us. And we may have some little giveaways for you if you're watching us. So anyway, we appreciate you coming. We've got some great speakers. 2 speakers, actually. But as always, we like to start off the program with an invocation and our pledge. And we ask Pastor Greg Croner, who is with the Emmanuel Lutheran Church, to come and lead us with it.
Thank you for the invitation and greetings to you from the faithful servants of Emmanuel Lutheran Church. One of them you probably know very well, Sharon Freeman. I don't know if I'm in charge of her, she's in charge of me, but what a blessing to know what you gathered together for and just the blessing that you are to Bartlett. Also a resident of Bartlett since we moved here, and what a phenomenal city. And as we join together and start with a word of prayer, I just encourage you to keep your pastors and faith leaders in prayer. Also, your teachers with us at the school there. They are on a high learning curve, and they have an amazing expertise. They love every single one of those kids, and they're trying to figure it out. We are putting our best foot forward and doing wonderful and amazing things. And every day it's a new accommodation, it's a new realization, and it's taking care of our kids. So keep them in prayers. They are doing a wonderful and phenomenal job, and we appreciate that. If you bow your heads with me. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day that you have made, that we would rejoice and be glad in it. We thank you that you send the rains upon the earth in their due season, so that all would be fed and would be nourished. We ask that you would bless this food to our bodies, that would strengthen us, that it would equip us with an energy to live for the day. We ask you to watch over the hands that prepare. As we return to our businesses and families, we ask you to keep them in good health and to watch over us. Lord, as we look at prosperity, may we first be prosperous in the message that you have us to share, as we treat our neighbor as we would want to be treated ourselves. We lift up to you this day, in Jesus' name, amen. If you'd please rise with me and join together in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. See, the pastor gets to say, please be seated.
Thank you, Greg. Appreciate that. Okay. Well, as you all know, our monthly meetings, membership meetings, are always sponsored by one of our members who actually makes these events possible. And so this year we have a number of companies that have stepped forward to be our luncheon sponsors. I'm going to name them very quickly. IAC, Ava Maria, Trustmark Bank, Methodist North Hospital, Southern Security, Memphis Funeral Home, SunTrust Bank, First Horizon Bank, and St. Francis Hospital. So we thank you all for being our sponsors for this year. And this month we are spotlighting one of these companies, and that is Southern Security. And we have a representative from the bank to come up to tell us a little bit about his organization. John Paul Gavin, would you please come?
Good afternoon. I'm John Paul Gavin with Southern Security. Welcome to the September Chamber Luncheon meeting. The Southern Security Federal Credit Union is once again honored to sponsor this esteemed group. I'm the Consumer Loan Manager at the Bartlett location. I would like to take a quick moment to recognize my colleague, Jan Ray, and thank you very much for kindly inviting me to come with you today this afternoon, and for planning and organizing everything that we had to do today. On behalf of the entire Southern Security leadership team and our CEO, Don Grader, I'd like to say thank you to the Bartlett Chamber of Commerce and to Tim Jones at Bartlett High School for joining us this afternoon. live and not via Zoom. Like many business landscapes, over the last 7 months, things have changed. The why we do business and the who we are has remained the same. I'm proud to be part of this organization that has adapted, has grown, and continues to strive and exceed our members' expectations on a daily basis. We're going to be bigger, we're growing together, and we're going to be stronger. And then we're going to serve this fantastic community. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us today and for being a part of life together as we enjoy this fine meal. Thank you so much.
Thank you, John Paul. John Paul said, do I have 10 minutes? I said, no, you only got about a minute and a half. He did make that quick. Thank you, John Paul. Okay, so, Marty, where are you running off to? It's your turn. Oh, you got your good comment. Okay, well, I'll get up here and sing a little bit. Well, maybe I should make some recognitions here. Let's see here. We always recognize our elected officials, and we do have our mayor, Keith McDonald, here. I know we've got maybe 1 or 2 candidates. If you are a candidate running for something, would you raise your hand, please? Okay, would you please stand and say who you are real quickly and what you're running for? Okay, thank you. And who else? I thought I saw another candidate. He might have left. Okay. Are you running for something? Huh? Oh, Lord? Okay. Also, we've got some first-timers here. Let me, first time, if this is the first time you've been to a chamber meeting, please raise your hand. Okay. Would y'all please stand and just real quickly say who you are and you know what you do, real quick.
We're Steve and Karen Jeffers, and we own the McDonald's restaurants here in Bartlett, and 4 others in the area as well.
Right. Anyone else? Yes.
Not a first timer, but it's the first time in a while. And I'm Amber Berger with Pinnacle Financial Partners. We're very excited to be opening here in Bartlett on November 2nd, and excited to get back involved with Bartlett Chamber.
Great. Thank you. Yes. We just had a ribbon cutting for y'all not long ago. Yeah. Anyone else? 46 years. That's older than the Bartlett Chamber. Congratulations. Okay. Is that it, Bartlett? Oh, wait a minute. We got another one. Great. Thank you all for coming. Appreciate it. Okay, so Marley is coming up. She's going to make a few announcements or give us an update on what's going on. Oh, before that, we are going to, those who are watching us live right now, you know, I started this tradition of asking some questions, and then you chat them in. So is it chatting? Is that what they're doing? They're chatting in? Okay, so I'm going to ask a question. And for those of you who know the answer, who are streaming, now this is not for the people who are live, this is just people who are watching, chat in your answer. And the first person to get the right answer in will win a $25 gift certificate to any one of our member companies. So here's the first question. Who was the chairman of the Bartlett Chamber in 1985? Okay? Yeah. You're probably not going to know that, except 1 or 2 people. I'm going to give you a clue. This person is probably one of the best-known people residing in Bartlett today. Okay? There's your clue. If you can't figure that out, then shame on you. Okay, Marley?
Hello. So Sorry for walking away when it was my turn. I'm Marley Young. I'm the Director of Marketing and Communications at the Chamber. I know most of you. Thank you so much for joining us. This is our second in-person lunch since the pandemic, so we're very thankful to have you, and we hope you enjoy yourselves. I'm just going to go over a couple of upcoming events and what we've been working on at the Chamber. So we still have our Bartlett Farmers Market going, which is a project at Bartlett Station that we help manage for them. That's located at 5890 Stage Road. It's right next to the Bartlett Public Library, and we are operating the farmers market until October 31st. So if you haven't been to the farmers market this year, we really encourage you to come support local vendors. There's local farmers. We're going to have a food truck starting next weekend for the rest of the season. We have pumpkins and gourds coming soon. So if you haven't made it out there, support Bartlett Station and support these local vendors. We would love to see you there. It's from 8 to noon on Saturdays next to the Bartlett Library. And then I've mentioned this in the past couple of meetings that we are doing some new member orientation called Chamber 101. And in the past couple of months, we've done quite a few, and they've been successful, and they were in the morning. But this month, we've decided to do a couple in the afternoon. So if you're a new member, which I do see a bunch of our new members in here, and thank you, most of you have been to Chamber 101 recently. But if you have some new employees that you're onboarding, or that are new to your team, or haven't been involved with the Chamber before, or if you're a new member, we would just love to see you there. It's a cool information overhaul of what the Chamber does, a little bit of the history about it, what we do for the Bartlett community, and then our events and stuff that we have to offer our members. So we have one on October 7th and one on October 27th, and they both are from 3:30 p.m. to 5. One's a Tuesday, one's a Thursday. One's a Wednesday, one's a Tuesday. Anyway, so you can register for those on our website, and we would love to see you there. They're fun. We have refreshments, and it's a good old time. We feel like we can safely socially distance with these, so we've been doing them every other week for the past couple of months. And then something else I wanted to mention, which isn't necessarily a program for the Bartlett Chamber, but I'm not sure if you've been following along with all of my information updates about the Tennessee Small Business Relief Program. But that was released by the state of Tennessee and is financial relief for small businesses within the state of Tennessee, part of a lot of the pandemic relief that has been released over the past number of months. And for the state of Tennessee, in order to be eligible for this program, you have to go on their website and verify your information. So if you look on the back of your program, I have the website there. And it's very simple. Just go on and verify your information, and then they determine your full eligibility. It's not applying for a loan or a grant. It's just telling them your information is correct, and they verify your eligibility. And there's a financial cap of $10 million in annual sales, I think, something like that. So even if you and your business do not particularly apply for this small business relief, we encourage you to tell your colleagues and maybe your vendors, other people that you know, because the deadline for this verification is tomorrow, the 25th of September. So if you haven't done it, just swing back to your office after this and just go to the website, see if that's something that you and your business are eligible for, and just verify your information. It just takes a couple of minutes. That's all I have. We are going to announce the Ambassador of the Month, though. Terry, you with me? Oh, and I just wanted to shout out to everybody on Facebook. Thank you for joining us. And if you're not watching right now, you can always continue to comment and watch in the future. It'll be available. And thank you for joining us. It's our first Facebook Live to this caliber, so we're really excited. And it was a huge learning curve for the boss, so we're super happy to be here. Thank you for joining us virtually and otherwise.
Hi, welcome you guys. Excited to be here. So with all of the ambassadors, please stand. I'd like for you guys to be recognized. So those that don't know what the ambassador program is, just ask them and they would be glad to tell you a little bit more about our program. And when you come to the 101, you'll also have an opportunity to learn more about the ambassador program and how we help the chamber. So Deborah Crawford is our ambassador of the month who we're spotlighting. She is with the main event. She's actually getting ready for a huge event tonight. We'd love for y'all to join and go just RSVP for it. They're doing a holiday sneak peek to show you how you can have an opportunity for your group in a very safe environment, and they're giving a sneak peek for that tonight. So do join them with that. And again, Deborah Crawford is our ambassador of the month. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Terry. Okay. By the way, you mentioned the states and the cities incentive that they've got, small business relief. But Kim, I know when you come up, you might want to talk about the census too, because I know that's closing out, and I know that y'all really been pushing that. It's very important that everyone fills out their census. They've got to when? Is it end of this month? September 30th. So if you've not filled out your census, what do they call it, survey, then we encourage you to do that. I know the mayor is very keen on having every citizen in Bartlett do that because it's very, very important. A lot of funding is determined by those census, so very important that everyone do that. Okay, I'm going to do another quiz. Okay, another question for those who are watching streaming online. And here it is. Who was the president of the Bartlett Chamber in 1985? Okay? So, you know that answer. Chat it in. And again, the prize is a $25 gift certificate to any Bartlett member business. Now, let me just tell you again how that's done. You must contact Kathy Carl. Do not expect something in the mail. You must contact Kathy Carl. So anyway, and she's got to know what gift certificate you want. So anyway, it's very important. You can call her or email her at kcarl, C-A-R-L, at bartlettchamber.org. Okay, we're moving right along, and if y'all have not noticed, I'm sure most of you have, there's a lot of things going on here in Bartlett. A lot of activity, a lot of construction, road construction, building construction, landscaping construction. And I've asked two folks with the city of Bartlett to join us today and to kind of just give us a real quick rundown on what all is going on in case you just don't know. So I've asked Kim Taylor, who is Director of Planning and Economic Development for the city of Bartlett, to come and just talk about some of the things going on. And then I'm going to turn it over to Paul Wright, who's with Parks and Rec, and he's going to talk about Freeman Park, what's going on there. So Kim, Wood.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for listening to me and my list of projects, which you probably noticed have been going on throughout the city of Bartlett, and you might be wondering what's going on. And so I'm going to give you the list, but I gave this list at the meeting earlier this week, and I didn't have the cost of the projects with the list. So since then, I've added the cost because I think it's important when you think about the census and how this helps us to bring in the funding for some of these projects. So I'm going to start with some of the road construction projects that are going on. The first one is the old Brownsville road widening project. And that project will include 2 additional lanes, plus a median, a left turn lane, and a bike lane along the edge of both sides of the road. Water and sewer line will have to be relocated with that project. The completion is anticipated to be May 2022. And right now it's at 10% completion. The project for the road itself is a $21 million project. The cost to relocate the water and sewer is $1.1 million. And that is partly funded by the federal government and the city. The next project is the Elmore Park Road project, where they're going to replace an 84-inch drain pipe between Acorn Drive and Hawthorne Road. The anticipated completion date is May 2021, and it is 10% completed. That project is $500,000. The Fletcher Creek Greenway Phase 2 is the Greenway Trail from Yale Road to Bird Park, and it includes the crossing bridge. It is 70% complete, and the anticipated date of completion is November 2020, and that is a $1 million project. The Bartlett Boulevard Bridge Rehab Project. I know most of you have experienced that lane closure over there. I know I have on both sides of the road. Now that project is 35% complete, and anticipated completion date is 2021, and it is a $1.5 million project. We have some road repaving projects. We have Oak Road and Haynes Road. We also have Diplomat Drive. Oak Road and Haynes Road has been completed, but Diplomat will be completed in 2021, and that is a $500,000 project. Yale Road and Brother Road repaving project is anticipated to be completed in December 2021, and that is a $3 million project. Then we have the TCAP facilities, and what this is mainly referencing is the Greenway crossing that will be in front of that project. So that Greenway that I mentioned earlier will connect to the TCAP site, and that is a $400,000 project. Davies Plantation, a new head wall will be replaced at Vanderscaff Road next spring. That is a $250,000 project. We're also building a new city vehicle repair shop on Yale Road that is adjacent to Cherry Valley. And the site prep work is underway. The anticipated completion date is May 2021, and it is a $3.7 million project. Besides that, we have a couple of subdivisions that we have contracts with. They are underway. We have Willow Ridge, it's a 44-lot subdivision, and it is on the south side of Old Brownsville Road, and it's east of Billy Mayer. We have the Walker Farms, another phase of Walker Farms subdivision, and it will be for 20 lots, and it is on the north side of Old Browns Road between Kirby Whitten and Shadowlawn Road. We have a few commercial projects that are under construction right now. We have Pinnacle Bank, and that is on Kirby Whitten near Chick-fil-A. And then we have a gas station at the southwest corner of Highway 70 in Germantown. And we have a daycare that is under construction. So on top of that, I'd like to mention that this year so far, the planning department has approved zoning for 127 new business licenses in the city. And I have some information about parks, but Paul Wright's here. He's going to fill you in about the parks, and that concludes my list. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Paul Wright. I am Assistant Director of Parks and Recreation here in the city, and I am pleased to update you on the status of the long-awaited Freeman Park Pavilion and restroom project. That project will be having a final walkthrough tomorrow morning. We've had a lot of issues in terms of some of the soil early on that we had to correct, and we've had some weather delays. But it looks like if everything goes well tomorrow morning, we will have a final completed, and we will be taking possession of that. We will coordinate with the mayor's office for a ribbon cutting soon thereafter, and then we will hopefully get that farmer's market relocated to its permanent home. So those are all good things. The last little bit to tie up with that project is our field lighting. Again, we have run into some soil issues with the installation of the lighting, and so that's also part of our inspection and walkthrough tomorrow is to coordinate what is the actual plan for the installation of that lighting. Some other good news, and some of the folks in the room may know about this, we have pursued a grant with Blue Cross Healthy Places to install a fully inclusive playground right next to the brand new pavilion. We've submitted paperwork that is in the review phase. Hopefully by mid-December we'll hear back from Blue Cross as to whether or not we have made it to the finalists, and then finalists would be notified by February of next year. That's a $750,000 grant. Again, it would be a fully inclusive playground with features that would allow any child, whether they're able-bodied or have any type of physical, mental, etc. disability, to be able to play next to one another. And what a great way to coordinate that along with what would be happening in the pavilion with the farmers market, with the multi-purpose sports fields. And so that, I think that would be a nice addition. Fingers crossed, hopefully we'll hear good news on that. Additionally, we are looking at pursuing an LPRF grant to add the amphitheater, which would be phase 4 of the 5-phase Freeman Park Master Plan. So this amphitheater would be a $500,000 match from funding that would be brought forth through the city and or partners within the city. And that's partly why I wanted to address you today, is we are looking for some strategic business partners, foundations, etc., to help raise the necessary match money so that we can qualify for getting this amphitheater off the ground. You're welcome to contact myself or Shane Criswell in the Parks and Recreation office if you'd like more information on that. So lots of great things happening at Freeman Park. One other note that I wanted to make this morning is, just like John Paul shared earlier, the who and the why, what we do may not have changed, but the how. So we are trying to be strategic in how we do special events. Parks and Rec, what we typically do is we try and get people together. Well, obviously COVID had different plans and it's not as easy to get together. We're coordinating a special, what we call a drive-through Halloween event that will be taking place over at the Flaherty Municipal Center. We are looking for partners to have booths as part of this. Right now we already have 6 of 20 booths taken from already city departments, things like Singleton Community Center, the Senior Center, the Recreation Center, but we're also looking for some businesses to be able to take participation in that. Debbie Jeleno has some letters with some additional details on how you can participate. So it's a great way to get your name out there, participate in a fun event. And again, it's a drive-through, so it would be essentially a parade of families going through their cars to the parking lot of the BPAC. We would have various booths, demonstrations. We've got a dance group that's going to do the Thriller dance as part of that, and then there'll be some projections as well coming from inside the theater. So lots of great things happening in Bartlett, so would love to hear from you guys if you want to participate. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate that. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on, and it's not free. It costs money, so that's where your taxes are going. And they're putting the good use, aren't they, man? Absolutely. Okay, I got another question for you before we go to our guest speakers. Okay, now, some of you may know this, probably most won't, but anyway. Listen to this. What Bartlett City Schools employee, Bartlett City Schools employee was quarterback of the Memphis Tigers the year they beat Ole Miss in 15th ranked Alabama. That happened in 1987. And if you know that answer, chat it in, okay? So, we're going to go now to our guest speakers. And we are very fortunate to have with us 2 outstanding individuals who are dedicated to making certain that the children of Bartlett have a wonderful education and have great career opportunities. So we're going to start off. We got 2 speakers, so what I'm going to do is introduce the principal of Bartlett High School, and that is Timothy Jones. And then he is going to go through his presentation, and then we'll introduce Clark Knight, who is director of the Career Technical Education Program. So just to give you a little background on Tim, he's been the principal of Bartlett High School since 2014, is that correct? And you were briefly the vice principal in 2013, and then of course went over to become the principal in 2014. He's the first and only principal of Bartlett High School since it has been part of the Bartlett City Schools system. Let's see here, in 1990 he received, that's when you graduated, right? From the University of Memphis. And he has a very interesting background. He's an Army brat, grew up in Hawaii, graduated high school in Georgia, and then you were recruited by some colleges, universities like Ole Miss and others. He says that. I don't know if that's really true or not. He says that here. But anyway, he is the guy, y'all, who was quarterback for the University of Memphis when they beat the University of Alabama, which was ranked number 15th in the country at the time. Is that correct? Anyway, Tim has a very colorful background in history. He's always been, and I won't go into detail there. And I tell you what, when you get these 2 guys together, you're going to laugh a lot. Clark and Tim here because they came out of the office yesterday and they just had the staff and stitches. But anyway, Tim, I'm going to start it off with you, and then you're going to go through the program. Y'all, your principal right here, Timothy Jones.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. I have some really great pictures for you. But thank you so much for that introduction. I don't remember much of that. A lot of concussions back then. They didn't take it out of the game. They just made you keep on going in. So I did play for a school called Memphis State. Some of you probably don't know where that is. And it doesn't exist anymore. They changed it, University of Memphis. But certainly I'm a very proud principal of Bartlett High School. And I just want to mention some people that had some things to do with me standing up here. First, the mayor. He had a vision to create Bartlett City Schools, and that vision came to fruition when 2013-14 and the merger, the demerger, and I appreciate him and Dr. David Stevens, superintendent. He rolled the dice and gambled on me being the first principal, so I appreciate that. If he's zooming in, where's Sykes at? Sykes, is he zooming? I gotta watch myself if he is. Okay. Well, first of all, I want to tell you that I was told I had 10 minutes. And then I asked the mayor, and the mayor said, you got 30 minutes. I went, okay, which one to do, John? I appreciate you. 10 or 30 minutes. I mean, the mayor said I had 30 minutes.
Well,
Is that thing working?
all the time you want.
Well, I know how it is when you get a call from work. I just got one, a little emergency. Now, this was the back of the gym. Right when they started destroying things, but it's the construction's actually 2.5 years into the process, and it's almost finished. So you're going to actually see some pictures during this presentation that nobody's seen. We haven't taken and put out yet because some of the things aren't finished, like the gym and certain things out by the football field, which I was worried about because I just got a text saying they cut the electricity and we have a game tomorrow, and we're going to try to stream it so that you need electricity to stream and lights to see the ball, stuff like that. So that's important. All right, so I have to stand closer to it because I'm okay with it. Technology, I know.
No, it worked until about you got up there.
I have some cool stuff, man. I was going to show this stuff. It's cool.
No.
Okay.
Hang on, I got it. Hang on.
You want me to click?
Hang on.
It throws up.
It never works when you want it to.
Oh, wow, there you go. Does that thing work now? Okay, you want to click it. After I talk about each slide, you can click it and click it, and we'll go fast through this. Each slide, when I graduated University of Memphis, or Memphis State, I graduated with a mathematical science degree. I was a teacher for many years, and I taught at University of Memphis for 20 years while I was teaching at Shelby County Schools and all that. And I took a semester off at University of Memphis. I just thought this COVID stuff was just too much for me. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. Now, this is a new auditorium. This is actually the first time we used it at the end of last year. We said, let's have the graduation in here, and we brought a film company. We did it. We streamed it out, and it was a very, very successful event. It was social distance involved, and it was I think the parents want to go back here. It was a really nice event. You go next one. This is our new cafeteria. Our old cafeteria was about this big, and we had 500 people in it every 22 minutes. We'd slide 500 kids in there every 22 minutes to feed them and shoo them back to class. We had 4 lunches, 500 pieces in that little bitty room. Now, this bad boy right here holds about 850, 900. It's a beautiful thing. I love it. The administrators love it. The teachers love it. Everybody loves it. And you got the view of the nice football field out here with picnic tables and all that. And one of these days we can go out there and use that. You know, but right now we have the social distance and all that. Go next one. Now this is our new library. A lot of people haven't seen this. This is beautiful. Nice, state of the art. Notice the plastic on the seats that hold more than one. Can't go there. You can't go a lot of other places, but you can social distance or walk through there and enjoy it and get out. But now this is our new commons, student commons, very beautiful. It's got trophy case with not very many trophies. I told the coaches they better start winning. and build these things. These are gigantic. This doesn't even have anything in it yet. And we could go back to 1917 and get the state championships back then, but a lot of the trophies have lost and the construction moved. This is the next slide. This is the big screen. I'm going to stream while you come to the new basketball gym. The game in there is going to be streamed on here and hopefully streamed out to the public. Especially during COVID, we rely on monies, ticket sales to run the programs, buy basketballs, uniforms. Right now, they're allowing only a few in the gym. We can't even pay for the referees. So don't be surprised if you get calls soliciting money from you to support and sponsor things like basketball and things like that. So go ahead. This is a cool one. I had my assistant principal, he's the new communications for the high school. He's actually doing a good job of flying the drone and giving me some live footage. We can't even use this parking lot over here. The new track, if you didn't see this is beautiful. The track is really nice. But on game day tomorrow, I could only put about 150 over here. I can only put 200 something over here, which regularly holds 1,000 and probably 800. So over here, I'm going to block this off and put all the teachers over here, and nobody goes over here. And the tape on these bleachers, you can only sit on the tape, so to keep everybody safe. But overall, 470. That's all we can fit here tomorrow. So we're trying to stream it. So when they cut the electricity here, digging up the pipe, there's no electricity up here for my cameras to work, so I can stream the game. But they're working on it right now. I just got a text, and the camera's working 5 minutes ago, so we're in good shape so far. And now we're working on lights. This is the new gym. Our old gym held about 5 people. This thing is terrible. I mean, it was crowded, fire. I'm glad the fire guys didn't show up. Anyways, here we got the bleachers coming in end of October. They're going to be put in, and we're going to use this year. We're going to put cameras up. We're going to stream it. In case we were in COVID, that probably can get about 200 or 300 in here. It holds 2,500, but due to social distancing, we can only get a limited size. Next slide. Keep on clicking. What happened year one? When I first became principal at a sports event, I noticed our graduation rate was a little low. It was around 70-something%. In 6 years, we've got it up to 98.6%. You know why? Because I hired really good people, and they kept on teaching. We motivated, we supported. The kids bought in, the teachers bought in, everybody bought in. That's what happens. Top 10 ACT now, plus 30 club. We put in top 10% of the kids there. There's 60 of them. They score around 30 and above. 12 hours of go. When I first got there, I said, hey, what kind of college classes do we have on campus? None. I said, oh. Well, we're going to change that. Now the kids can take 12 hours, English 1, English 2, through University of Memphis. They can take college algebra and calculus. And I've taught the advanced algebra and the college algebra and the calculus, business class. Next slide. Some more things that happened. When I got there were 23 honors classes. We went to 39 honors classes. 361 seniors last fall made the honor roll. And when I got there was $6.5 million of scholarships. Last year, we had $43 million in scholarships. And during COVID, I thought it was going to be like zero. We still had $33.6 million in scholarships during COVID. That's awesome. That was good thing. We are an exemplary district. Very good. And we're a level 5 district and a level 5 school. Does anybody know what that means? Level 5? It means you can sell your house faster. People move in, they want to come to Bartlett, right? Houses are worth more. They are. And try to buy a house in Bartlett is very difficult. You're going to be bidding against people, and you're going to get mad, you're going to miss out on 5 houses before you get the one you really don't want. Because that's a good thing. People want to live in Bartlett. Next slide. Okay, 2018, it was pretty cool. We were named Best Workplace in the Mid-South. And then last year we got that. And then this thing back at, yeah, we placed second. I hate second, but that's okay. Right here, we're a reward school. That's the highest academic honor any school can get. That means I have a lot of good people surrounding me, tons. I hired great people. I promise you, I interviewed tons. Just for a football coach, I ran through about 100 applications. Just for the one football coach. Three things I like to talk about is athletics, arts, and academics. Anytime I get in front of a crowd, they want to know those three things. Hey, I'm worried about academics. Hey, I want to know how good your football team is. Oh, I want to know if you have orchestra. All those are important for a great school. Go ahead to the next one. Now this guy right here, he was my sixth choice. Out of those 100 applicants, the top 5 turned me down. One of them was a Christian Brothers coach, but I'm not going to name his name because we just beat them last week. That guy right there, I had to drive. I sent a memo down to Alabama. Alabama coach was available. I drove down, and my buddy of mine, Coach Bowler, he's one of the coaches, said, hey, we got to drive down there and get this guy. This guy's very valuable. I said, really? What's his name? Tucker. I said, okay. So it was Saturday night at 10 o'clock. I said, shouldn't we sleep in and drive down on Sunday? No, we're driving 10. So we drove down to Alabama at 10 o'clock at night. Went to his house the next morning. He woke up and said, man, where are you at? I said, I'm at your field house. So he left church and came over there to see us. And I interviewed him for about 5 hours. He invited me into his living room, which is a mistake. Because then I recruited his wife and his 2 kids. And they're great. So we offered her a job, him a job, his brother a job, his brother's wife a job, and the assistant coach a job. They all came up. Now they're all on my staff, and they're very good people. We hire good people. Golf, they just beat Arlington for the golf district championship a couple days ago. They're actually playing right now in the slot, unless it's canceled. Basketball, the track guy got the best cross-country coach in the country. Those guys over there on the right, they run 60 to 70 miles a week with that coach. The coach is out, so don't hit them. They run in the mornings. And they run around town. I'm like, whoa, make sure they're safe, they're visible, make sure that nothing's happened in several years. And guess what? They finished second 2 years in a row at the state level. Great job for the coach, but I don't know how they did it, 60, 70 miles a week. 2 state runner-ups, sub-state games in a row for these guys. District runner-up over there for the girls. Great job on basketball. We'll see them in the new gym. This is kind of cool. I hired this guy right here last year. First year he coached the bowling and wins the state championship in men's and has a girls singles state champion. So I have 2 trophies to put in that big, gigantic case. Isn't that cool? That's great. If they're in there already, come see them. It's great. All right, so Bartlett's over 100 years old. In those 100 years, we never won a state championship in men's wrestling, so we got a girl. We got a girl wrestler. That's a girl. She won the state championship wrestling, first ever state championship in wrestling, and she did Maggie Graham. Man, that's awesome. We got to tell you.
Maggie is also 12. She ranked 12th in the country.
12th in the country, yay! All right, awesome. We love our kids. She's already been offered by tons of colleges offered. Baseball. Now, last spring I had nothing for them. I have to go back 2 years because the season got canceled right after we threw a no-hitter against Houston. You know, we had a great baseball team. They were top, probably 5 in the state at the time, and COVID hit. That's a shame because we thought we were going all the way. We just threw a shutout against Houston. Houston's one of the top 4 teams on this side of Nashville, and we shut them out. And then COVID hit, canceled the season. Soccer got canceled. They finished 3rd in district the previous year. Next slide, please. Softball got canceled. Those guys over there, 4 of those guys probably would have won the state championship in individuals. Got canceled. We had everything going our way. Next slide, please. Now, this is it's troubling to some people to see a high school kid shooting. It is troubling. And they say, you got kids that can shoot? Yes. And they do a very good job. They threw 100 clay pigeons, I guess, in front of this kid, and they hit 99 of them. So don't make him mad. Don't give him a B, give him an A. Jesus, but these guys are good. Next slide, please. All right, girls, when I first started going down there at Nationals and watching these girls go, they finished top 10, 10, 11, 12. But now, last couple of years, they had second place finishes in Nationals, so they beefed the cheer up. And they're actually competing at the national level. They're doing a great job. They sponsor, the parents support, and we're looking for probably a national championship in the next couple of years. Lacrosse, I don't know if you know what the sport is. I didn't. And TSSAA doesn't even recognize the sport yet. But we got wind of them starting to recognize it at the state level in 2022. So we started it a couple years ago. Girls and boys are starting to get scholarships in lacrosse to go to college. It's amazing how much money there is in this sport. So if you don't like the other sports, boom, go there. All right, visual arts. Arts are very important, and we have beefed up arts in a lot of ways. The visual arts, they've set records. They beat a lot of schools around here. I'm not going to mention Arlington, but there it is. They beat them to death in this awards, classic awards, 49 Gold Key Awards recipients. And several of them moved on to national competition. Performing arts, the bands are very good. I hired a new band teacher last year. 6 years ago, our band was like maybe 60, 70 on marching. I went to the band teacher and said, hey man, we're actually the largest school in the state. I said, why are we the smallest band in the state? I said, we need to fix that. Get a little vertical alignment with the middle schools, go down there and let them come up here and know you before they get out of there, so they'll understand what your program's like and what they could do. Scholarships galore in band. So now they're over 200 strong. They've won all kind of awards. Next slide. And the arts, I think you skipped the band one, but maybe not. There it is. No, okay, that's good right there. I steal teachers from other schools. I've stolen teachers. I got them from any school you can name. I picked them. From Collierville, Houston, Arlington. I pulled 4 or 5 from Arlington this year. Very good teachers. And I stole the theater teacher 2 or 3 years ago from Germantown. And she was highly rated, and she's already won some awards from the previous slide, the Pippin slide. She had this, and she won this one, which everybody wants. Outstanding overall production from the Orpheum High School Musical Theater Award. Very good job, Mrs. Walls. Next slide, the band. This is the one whole band.
I can't, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm just glad you're doing it, not me. All right, the marching band now has well over 200 students. I told you 6 years ago they were small. Now we're one of the biggest bands in the state, and they're very good. The one thing that they've done, and I've noticed we have somebody from Kustoff's office, they actually sent word that, hey, Congressman Kustoff considers Bartlett one of the top bands in the 8th Congressional District, and they also invited them to the 4th of July celebration in Washington, D.C., which we can't afford because we don't have enough money. So I don't even know if we can get that going. It's COVID, all these things going on, but hopefully we'll continue to get the invite. One of these years, we'll get the band going and playing some of those national parades. Superior rating, these orchestras with great, wonderful guys doing that. Here's something that I need y'all to focus in on. Last fall, we had our seniors, and we have about 650, 700 or so around that. And 178 had principal honor roll last fall, and 183 had a faculty honor roll. That's huge, because it's never happened like that before. They're just growing and growing. That's 53% of the senior class. Now, I'm starting to run the numbers again, because I'm a numbers guy. We're not close to that during this COVID. It's a sad thing, because teachers are trying to learn. I've noticed a couple of people talk about, hey, the teachers are learning how to do this for the first time. Students have gone 10, 11, 12 years in a regular classroom setting. They're learning also. So there has to be grace both ways. I have to have grace for the teachers and patience for the teachers and support for the teachers to do this almost impossible job of teaching virtual and in-house learning at the same time. It's very difficult. And the students, they're learning too. So having grace, if you're a teacher or you're a mom and dad, you know, support your kid. But sometimes when they send the assignment in and it doesn't go through these electronic things and to the teacher, you know, and the teacher hands them a 0, then we have to have a conversation. You know, call the teacher, hey, can we talk about it? Yeah, surely. So those things are happening right now. I had a parent yesterday say, hey, I sent it in 10 times. It came back. Kept on coming back. It's like, all right, so, hey, next slide. All right, these are all the academics talking about the ACT. When I first got there, it was 18. Now it's about 21.5. It's very difficult. I spend a lot of money training teachers and students on how to take the ACT and do that 21.5. Next slide. All right, now I have to introduce somebody. The director, one of my good friends. I met this guy when I got off the bus. First time I met this guy that's about to come up here. He's got 5 slides of information. Everybody in high school, every student in high school doesn't want to go to university. They have to have an alternative. He talks about the career and technical paths people. I want to introduce you my good friend and big Memphis fan, Director of Career and Technical, Clark Knight.
Thank you. I only have 5 slides, okay, so we'll be quick. I don't want to blow the answer to anybody on the who was the quarterback when we beat Alabama. Actually, my friend was on the field. He said, hey, he told the field goal kicker, kick the ball up to my buddy in the stand so he can catch it and throw it. No. Anyway, so you see this picture here? This is our clean lab, and this has all this machinery is really expensive stuff. It's called CNC machines. And this is in our machining program, and this was the vision of Dr. David Stevens, our superintendent of schools, and Mayor McDonald, for us to kind of find something we could partner with the community, partner with the community in something that's relevant to what we're doing. Well, Bartlett is the second leading city behind someplace in Indiana as the second largest medical device community manufacturer. So, thus, that's where we've got the new clean room, and it's a beautiful new facility that we have. This is really something that duplicates what a student would see in a manufacturing facility if they were to go directly out of school and work in that, and that's what we're trying to do. This isn't done yet. This is going to be our new STEM lab, okay? You've got the classroom and you'll have lab space, and we're really excited about it. It's going to have 3D printers, and a bunch of new stuff that I'm going to touch on a little bit later, programs that we're implementing, including cybersecurity, drones, coding, all based off Steve Wozniak from one of the founders for Apple Computing. So at Bartlett, we have 16 programs of study. Now there's 13 up there, but we have some that have 2 areas. For instance, in health science, we have diagnostics as well as therapeutics. In IT, we've got web design and coding. And in human services, we actually have a cosmetology lab as well as social services. So as you can see, as you're looking at all this, we've got everything. I've talked about our manufacturing courses as well as our STEM down at the bottom. What's really going to be neat is that Bartlett, with this renovation, we have the best labs of any comprehensive high school, I think, in the state, and it's really going to be all up to date. So our 2 goals, and they're aligned directly at the goals of the district. This thing keeps fading in and out, I'm sorry. Is to increase college-ready graduates. And that means, do they have a 21 on the ACT, or do they have early opportunities for early post-secondary credit, as well as industry certifications? And then the other thing is to increase work-based learning activities and opportunities for our students. Well, one of the good things about that is, obviously we know what we're in right now with COVID-19, so we can't send students out to do any kind of work-based learning. But with our labs that we're going to have is the state is going to allow us to do what is called a school-based enterprise. So when you have a 4-stall automotive garage like we do for automotive repair and maintenance, that could be a work-based learning activity for that student because they're actually applying what's going on. They're applying at school what's going on in the related industry. So we're excited about that. We had 450 CTE concentrators, this is from 2019. We don't have the thing yet from 220. But anyway, of that, 76 are enrolled in secondary training, 15% are working, and as well as in the area of that they concentrated in high school, and then 6% joined the military, 2% weren't placed, and we didn't get a response from one of ours. Our EPSO opportunities, which is early post-secondary opportunities, we had 250 students enrolled in dual credit or dual enrollment. We have memorandums of understanding with the University of Memphis, Southwest Tennessee Community College TCAT. This right here is the 11 industry certifications that we're offering at the high school. From OSHA 10, which I think is pretty recognized, as well as this is the clinical medical assistant. And then the one with the CDA and the TECTA, that's we actually have a daycare that meets 3 days a week on campus, and that's our early teaching program that we're working with. So the goal is, and then finally we had work-based learning experiences. We had several partners where students got to go out and job shadow, do volunteer work in both clinical, health science, and IT last year. So we're hoping to expand all of these with slow, steady growth and give our students the opportunity to have some of those career activities before they graduate. At the middle school, I'm really excited about this. We wrote a grant,
and it's allowing us to put in several new programs at the middle school. And I mentioned Steve Wozniak from Apple Computers. He actually has a founding a company called WozEd. And through WozEd, we're actually having cybersecurity code. We purchased cybersecurity coding and drones at the middle school level, and we're going to scaffold up to our high school STEM courses. So this is another very exciting thing. So we're starting to get now where we're introducing career opportunities at a very earlier age to kind of get that student on a directed path.
please feel free to contact me if you've got any ideas. I'm a teacher. There are no dumb ideas, okay? So contact me. That's my information. It's at cnight@bartlettschools.org. Thank you.
Okay. Can you hear me? Okay. Thank you, Clark and Tim. Appreciate that very much. As you can see, there's a lot going on over at the high school. And as Tim mentioned earlier, you know, he does like to hire the best. And to just let you know a little bit about Clark, because I've been dealing with Clark quite a bit ever since the medical device initiative and all that. And Clark was actually over all CTE for Shelby County schools back when they were Shelby County schools and Memphis City schools. And then with the merger, he was over all of Shelby County, including Memphis City schools, right? So he was the go-to guy for CTE in the whole Shelby County. And then when the municipal school systems came up, Clark was so valuable that a lot of the school systems had Clark, like you were doing Bartlett, Arlington, Collierville. I mean, I think they were all depending on Clark. So Tim or David or whoever, the mayor, somehow they got this guy. So, you know, we're very fortunate that he's now focused strictly on Bartlett. Okay, so we're right on schedule, just a few minutes behind. I'm going to draw some names out of here. Now, here's the deal. I'm going to draw a couple names, and if I draw your name, then you will win a gift certificate, $25 to any Bartlett business, chamber member, and so the deal is contact Kathy Carl. Where is Kathy? Kathy's way back there. But anyway, contact Kathy. Don't come to me, and they're not up here, okay? So, Elizabeth Gaia with e-payment. Elizabeth, where are you? You here? Okay, well, you're one of them. Come on, let Tim. Here, Tim. Pull a couple names out here. There you go. Oh, yeah, good. Okay.
Well, Bartlett Prescription Shop.
All right.
Bill Regan.
A long time. And here's the last.
McDonald's. Sue Jeffrey.
I wonder what gift certificate you're going to ask for, because most people ask for yours. Okay. Well, listen, we appreciate y'all coming. Has anyone got any announcements they need to make? Anyone? If not, did we have the champion?
I know the winner of the first one was Greg Shelton.
Greg Shelton, okay. The winner, Greg, if you're still watching, you are the winner of the first question.
Yeah, which
yes.
sure was Keith McDonald. That's who he answered.
Huh? David Stevens, yes. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so with that, folks, we're going to leave it, and we're adjourned, and we will see you in October. Now, before I say adjourned, October, we don't have the final date yet, but October is going to be a special membership meeting because we're going to recognize a lot of the founders of this Chamber of Commerce back in 1980, okay? So be sure to be a part of that. Okay, thank you very much for coming. We'll see you next month.